शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्मा तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलं वाल्मीकिर्मुनिपुङ्गस्य कवितावनचारिणः शृण्वन् रामकथानादं को न याति परां गतिं यः पठेत् सततं राम चरितामृतसागरम् अतृप्तस्तं मुनिं वन्दे प्राचेतसमकल्मषं गोष्पदीकृतवाराशिं मशकीकृतराक्षसं रामायणमहामाला रत्नं वन्दे नीलात्मजम् अञ्जनानन्दनं वीरं जानकीशोकनाशनं कपीशमक्षहन्तारं वन्दे लङ्काभयङ्करम् उल्लङ्घ्य सिन्धोः सलीलं यशोकवह्निं जनकात्मजायाः आधाय तेनैव ददाह लङ्कां नमामि तं प्राञ्जलिराञ्जनेयम् आञ्जनेयमदिपाटलाननं काञ्चनाद्रिकमनीयविग्रहं पारिजाततरुमूलवासिनं भावयामि पवमाननन्दनं यत्र यत्र रघुनाथकीर्तनं तत्र तत्र कृतमस्तकाञ्जलिं बाष्पवारि परिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं नमत राक्षसान्तकं वैदेही सहितं सुरद्रुमतले हैमे महामण्डपे मध्ये पुष्पकमासने मणिमये वीरासने सुस्थितम् अग्रे वाचयति प्रभञ्जनसुते तत्त्वं मुनिभ्यः परं व्याख्यान्तं भरतादिभिः परिवृतं रामं भजे श्यामलं नमोऽस्तु रामाय सलक्ष्मणाय देव्यै च तस्यै जनकात्मजायै नमोऽस्तु रुद्रेन्द्रयमानिलेभ्यो नमोऽस्तु चन्द्रार्कमरुद्गणेभ्यः. Okay. Let's start. So last time, if you remember, we were looking at Sundarakandam, wherein finally Hanuman discovers Sita sitting on top of the Shimshapa tree, and he next sees Ravana coming towards Sita, and the way Ravana speaks to Sita, what he tells her, and so on. That's what we start from Sarga 20. नेह केचिन्मनुष्या वा राक्षसाः कामरूपिणः व्यपसर्पतु ते सीते भयं मत्तः समुत्थितम्. So Ravana tells Sita that nobody can take you away from me in any form, be it a human, be it a demon, or so on. Once you have come here, you don't have to fear anything. Nobody can relieve you or take you away from here. Swadharmo rakshasam bhiru sarvathaiva na samshayah gamanam va parastrinam haranam samprat mathyava. So here now when Sita, a bit now, whenever here Ravana used to come and force her, at that time Sita used to initially talk about dharma, saying that this is adharma, that you have abducted someone else's partner and so on. So now here Ravana speaks about dharma of Rakshasas, wherein he says that dharma for Rakshasas, or it's very natural for Rakshasas to abduct others vice versa. This is Rakshasa dharma. Now please note one thing, when we say Rakshasa Dharma, it is limited to Rakshasas alone. Dharma doesn't change as per people also. Okay, for 10 years, this is a Dharma. For the next 10 years, Dharma changes. Or depending on person to person, it changes. It is not at all so. Dharma remains same. Whatever is adharma, that is what is practiced by Rakshasas. So here basically you cannot even call this as Dharma of Rakshasas. The basic Dharma of Rakshasas is adharma. So this is what Ravana tries to tell. Further, he tells, Kim karishyasi Ramena subhage chiravasasa nikshipta vijayo ramo gatashrir vanagocharaha vrati sandilashayi cha shankhe jivati vanava. So he has a very wrong miscalculation. What he does is, he says that anyway, Rama has given up all the victory. He has lost everything. He has lost his kingdom. He has been banished from his kingdom. He is just moving about in the forest in bark ornaments. What he has, he doesn't have anything. What can he do? It is even doubtful. Shanke Jivati Vanava. It is even doubtful whether he is even alive till date, and you are sitting and waiting for that person for the last so many months. Instead of that, forget everything, marry with me, marry me, and be happy. न रामस्तपसा देवी न बलेन न विक्रमैः न धनेन मया तुल्यः तेजसा यशसापि वा. Ravana says that you cannot compare myself with Rama at all because he's not equal to me in any aspect, be it tapasya, penance, he says, strength, wealth, fame, anything it can be. Rama is not equal to me at all. Hearing all this, Sita could not bear anymore. She gets very angry and she retaliates. What she does, that is in Sarga 21, wherein she tells Ravana that don't underestimate Rama. I know who's Rama, what he can do for me. So wait and see. Rama will definitely come and he'll destroy you completely. But here at the same time, Sita also advises Ravana that you better make friendship with Rama. You return me back to Rama, everything will be good for you. If you don't do that, then you will lose everything. Sita advises Ravana. Chintayanti vararoha patimev pativrata trinamantaratas kritva pratyuvacha shuchismita. Now, Sita, if you see, you would have seen in those serials and movies also, Sita always holds a blade of grass in her hand like a boundary between her and Ravana. Now, what is this concept of this? Trinamanta ratav kritva trinam. So basically, that blade of grass was a sign of her pativrata. And Ravana also knew that she was a pativrata stree. That's the reason he never came by crossing the blade of grass because he had already seen the power of Sita, wherein when he came to abduct her at that time also, the Lakshman Rekha, though that is not mentioned in the Valmiki Ramayanam, it's a popular concept. So at that time, if you see, there also Ravana could not enter. That's why he calls Sita outside and Sita goes. So here also, if you see this Trinamantarataf Kritva, the blade of grass that she has, that was a sign of her Pativrasya. So Ravana also knew this. That's the reason he never crossed over that. And Sita, so it was just to show that, oh Ravana, you don't come near me. Now here one thing we have to know, though Ravana was an evil man, he had abducted Sita, he had kidnapped Sita, but still somewhere at the back of his mind, fear had already developed because he had lost his brothers Kharadushana. He also had other Shurpanaka was also her nose was cut off. So little omens he was already seeing, and somewhere at the back of his mind, he also knew that the Sita can cause me, you can say, trouble also because of the so many other curses, this that he had got. But so it was not that Ravana was a fool or so that he didn't know things and very blindly was moving about, but he was blind with fame, or you can say pride that he had, and he never wished to accept defeat. Now if he returned back Sita, it would be like, okay, I just gave up, right? So he was a person who used to never give up and let anything happen, even if I lose my own life, it's fine, but I'll never come down, or you can say I'll never give up on my fame, this, that. So, in certain aspects, Ravana also knew that Sita is not a normal lady at all. And all these things become more evident after Hanuman comes and destroys the entire forest. Then finally Rama reaches Lanka. So, slowly, things which Ravana felt will never happen, they all started happening. So, till here, he is assuming that Rama may not exist, such a person like Rama may never come to Lanka. Ultimately, that also happens. Then further, when that happens, he says, okay, what if Rama has come to Lanka? What will he do next? He'll not be able to do anything. Slowly, he loses all of his relations. Even then, he doesn't know or he doesn't realize that, okay, things which I thought were impossible, they have also become true. But still, he never gives up till the last minute. So here also, so here what we have to notice, Ravana is not a fool also, but he was blinded with ignorance and fame, or you can say pride. अहमौपैकी भार्या परभार्या सती तव साधु धर्ममवेक्षस्व साधु साधु व्रतं चर. Here Sita says, I cannot be your wife just because you want me. I am a pativrata stri. That means I am already married to a man, so I will not remarry at all. So therefore, oh sorry, you are a king, so therefore ensure that you follow dharma. And you are already married, ensure that you are on the path of dharma, you lead a pious life, don't do such things which will bring about your own downfall. इह सन्तो न वासन्ति सतो वा नानुवर्तसे तथा हि विपरीता ते बुद्धिराचारवर्जिता. So here Sita says that either here there are no good people who can advise you, or even though they are there, you do not follow them, you do not listen to them, and so on. So what is your problem? We don't know. Your mind has been turned that way that you have to do all these evil things in order to attain glory. अकृतात्मानमासाद्य राजानमनये रतं समृद्धानि विनश्यन्ति राष्ट्राणि नगराणि च. Because of rulers like you, not only you but everyone around in the entire kingdom is affected, and this will lead to the entire kingdom's destruction. So therefore Ravana, think now. So all this is the advice of Sita to Ravana. स्वकृत्यैर्हन्यमानस्य रावणादीर्घदर्शिनः अभिनन्दन्ति भूतानि विनाशे पापकर्मणः. And when evil people like you are killed at the time, all the people also will be very happy. And because an evil person, a sinner, has been killed, now we can lead a life happily. एवं त्वां पापकर्माणं वक्ष्यन्ति निकृता जनाः दृष्ट्यैतद्व्यसनं प्राप्तो रौद्र इत्येव हर्षिताः. And for all those whom you have caused trouble, they also will be very happy because you have caused trouble to them. You have not behaved with them properly, you have insulted them, you have humiliated them. They will also feel very happy that this demon has been killed. Now, listening to all this, obviously, Ravana's ego would have puffed up, and he gets angry at Sita and tells her that now I give you just 2 months. For the last 8 months, I've been very patient. I've been listening to you, to all your blabbering, but now time is up. You have give you just 2 months to change your mind and marry me. If you don't do that, then you will be my breakfast. Pratarasha. This statement comes in the Sundarakandam, Sarga 22. You will become my breakfast after 2 months. So ensure that you change your mind and come. And he also tells all the Rakshasis, the female demonesses around that, somewhat you try to brainwash Sita, it is your duty to change her mind. Within 2 months, she should come and marry me. Saying this, Ravana goes away. Parushani havakyani yani yani bravishimam teshu teshu vado yuktaha tava maithili darunaha. Here, now whatever Sita spoke had angered Ravana a lot. So Ravana says, sorry, so for each statement that Ravana spoke, for that Sita spoke, Ravana gets so angry that he tells her that you deserve only death for whatever you spoke. द्वौ मासौ रक्षितव्यो मे यो वधिस्ते मया कृतः ततः शयनमारोह मम त्वं वरवर्णिनी. Says द्वौ मासौ. I give you the time period of 2 months. If you don't do that, ततः शयनमारोह. After that, you'll have to share my bed. So this itself shows the very evil, or you can say this shows the nature of Ravana, the way he speaks, and his, you can say, the attitude that that he had towards women, and the main purpose why he was marrying women, or he had so many partners, this, that, and so on. So the character of Ravana is shown here, such an evil man, and basically it is an advice to the world that how people should not exist. That is shown through these characters like Ravana, Kumbhakarna, and so on. In fact, in all the different avatars that we have, all the evil demons or any evil characters that are there, which can be a bit disturbing to read, or you can say to believe in that. How can Ravana be so evil, or how can Kamsa be so evil? And Kamsa, he, from the Mahabharata Krishna Leela stories, each child of Devaki he pulls out from her. She had just given birth, and immediately, as soon as the child gives a babe, he came. 7 children of Devaki were killed in front of her eyes. So you can just you can imagine the state of Devaki then. Devaki, now there are some references which say that Devaki used to pray to Kamsa, it seems, that I have not even seen the face of my child. Before that, you're pulling from me and killing it. So, what he used to do is, it used to be so inhuman, he used to bang the child, and that's how the child used to die. So, when you listen to all this, also, it's so disturbing, right? But why then such characters are mentioned, and why are we even reading about them? Kamsa has done some evil acts, Ravana has done something evil. Why are we reading about that? Such characters are there to show to the world that such things should not be done. When someone tells you that you have to do so and so things, you have to do, these are good things, these are bad things. To know what not to do, for that we should know, right, what it is. Okay, don't be like Kamsa. When someone tells don't be like Kamsa, don't be like Ravana. For that, first we should know who is Ravana, who is Kamsa, what did they do, and what they did was wrong. I should not do this. right? So therefore, the evil characters, the negativity that is there in all our scripture stories also, that also knowing about that is important to know that okay, so these things should not be done, these things I should not. So that is the mention of these characters here. ऊर्ध्वं द्वाभ्यां तु मासाभ्यां भर्तारं मामनिच्छति मम त्वां प्रातराशार्थम् आलम्बन्ते महानसे. Still after 2 months, if you don't accept me, then you will be sent to the kitchen to be cooked and you will be offered as morning breakfast to me. Sarga 22, verse number 9. Sita gets angry. She says, so here you can say, see, the unshakable devotion of Sita and belief that Sita had on Rama, faith that still Rama will come. In spite of all these words that, sorry, Ravana speaks, still she never gives up on Rama and she says, Yata driptascha matangaha shashashcha sadrisho yudi tata madangavad Ramaha tvam nicha shashavat smritaha. She tells that it's just like a elephant fighting with a rabbit and you are just a small rabbit. Rama is like an elephant. So there is no use of an elephant and a rabbit fighting with each other. We know that the rabbit is going to lose. So ultimately Rama is only going to attain victory. शूरेण धनदभ्रात्रा बलैः समुदितेन च अपोह्य रामं कस्मादि दारचौर्यं त्वया कृतम्. She tells that you're such a great warrior, you're the brother of Kubera, the god of wealth, you have so many good things. What you will get by abducting Rama's wife or so, by just that too when he is not there? This shows your cowardly nature, how you have been living like this, what the world is going to think about you. Don't you think about all these things? So with this Sarga comes to an end, Sarga 22. Next is Sarga 23. But now, as usual, Ravana doesn't listen to all her speech that is there. He moves about. And now the demonesses, they start doing their work. And now what are the demonesses? What they try to do is they try to persuade Sita. So these are all, if you see Sarga 23 entirely talks about various demons, Ekajata, Harijata, Praghasa, Vikata, Durmukhi, and so on. Each one of them they come and they persuade Ravana. Ravana is so great. Ravana has got all the riches of the world. He'll keep you very happy. Background of Ravana, how much tapas he had done, how he had pleased Shiva, how everything is under his control. So all this. So basically, if someone tries to convince us, say for example, we go to a shop also, we have to buy something. How the shopkeeper he convinces us, right? Maybe you come home, you end up realizing that it was a useless product also. But still, the way the shopkeeper tells, even if we don't need that thing, we end up buying that, right? So this was the job of the demonesses also somewhat similar. They try to persuade Sita to this extent that anyone's mind will get changed, but Sita's mind was very, very strong. Her faith was unshakable, that could not be moved at all. And the demonesses, of course, they just did their work, but Sita was not affected. Sita did not pay attention to whatever the demonesses spoke, but ultimately they also lost their patience. They started threatening Sita. मानुषी मानुषस्यैव भार्या त्वं बहुमन्यसे प्रत्याहर मनोरामा न त्वं जातु भविष्यति. They tell you kept your mind on Rama. You're just wife of an ordinary man, Rama. Forget Rama, come and marry Sita. Come and marry Ravana. If you don't do this, then you'll not survive. मानुषी मानुषं तं तु राममिच्छसि शोभने राज्यात् भ्रष्टमसिद्धार्थं विक्लवं त्वमनिन्दिते. Then you're so beautiful, you're so graceful. Why do you just think about Rama? Think of the leader or lord of the three worlds, Ravana. He's just Rama is just a normal human being who's unsuccessful, who is banished from his kingdom, who has nothing under his control. And look at our Lord Ravana. He will give you all the happiness of the world. दीनो वा राजहीनो वा यो मे भर्ता समे गुरुः तं नित्यमनुरक्तास्मि यथा सूर्यं सुवर्चला. Sita gives a very befitting reply to the demonesses. Let anything happen. Let him be sad, let him be banished, let him be unsuccessful. That doesn't matter to me. Rama is my husband. I will ever be devoted to Rama. Just as Suvarchala, the wife of Surya Bhagavan, is devoted to Surya, similarly I will also be devoted to Rama. ऊचुश्च परमक्रुद्धाः प्रगृह्याशु परश्वदान् नेहमर्हति भर्तारं रावणं राक्षसाधिपम्. Now the reminiscence, they got very angry, they picked up their weapons in order to attack Sita. They tell that she is such a lady that she is not fit to accept, or she is unfit to have Ravana as her husband. ततस्तु प्रघसा नाम राक्षसी वाक्यमब्रवीत् कण्ठमस्या नशंसायाः पीडयाम किमास्यते. So Daman is called Praghasa. She says, let us twist the neck of Sita and eat it. So all this, they start speaking in this way. Again, it is very, very disturbing. But Sita had to endure all this. And just as we discussed last time also, the path of even avatars is not at all easy. Whatever they had to face, same has been depicted in the Valmiki Ramayanam. निवेद्यतां ततो राज्ञे मानुषी सामृतेतिह नात्र कश्चन सन्देहः खादतेति स वक्ष्यति. Once we do this, once we just destroy the Sita completely, Ravana will just say, eat her up and finish her off. So this was a plan of the Rakshasis. Now, by whatever things that were happening, Ravana coming and telling Sita something, Damanis is coming and threatening her, ultimately Sita, she felt very sad and she started crying and wailing. And she feels that, let me just die completely. I don't want to survive any longer. वेपते स्मारिकं सीता विशन्ति वाङ्गमात्मनः वने यूथ परिभ्रष्टा मृगी कौकैरिवार्दिता. So basically, like a female deer being separated from its partner also, or from its herd. Similarly, Sita also was being separated from the world, and she feels very bad. But she was trembling inside, she was full of fear, she didn't know what to do. सा वेपमाना पतिता प्रवाते कदनीयता राक्षसीनां भयत्रस्ता विवर्णवदना भवन्. So just as kadaliyata, this statement had come even last time. So just as a banana tree that's so gentle, right? It's just heavy, you can say, strong winds start blowing, the plant falls down. Similarly, Sita also was trembling like the banana tree. कीदृशं तु महापापं मया जन्मान्तरे कृतं तेनेदं प्राप्यते दुःखं मया घोरं सुदारुणम्. So like fellow human beings like us, Sita also starts wailing, saying that I don't know what great papa I have done in my previous karmas that I have to endure all this and face such a situation. जीवितं त्यक्तुमिच्छामि शोकेन महतावृता राक्षसीभिश्च रक्षन्त्या रामो नासाध्यते मया. She feels that I don't want to live at all any longer. I wish to give up my life because I'm being guarded by these Rakshasis who are completely, you can say, destroying me. They are causing a lot of trouble to me. And when they are around me, I also have no hope to reach Rama at all. Sita finally in Sarga 26, she decides to end her life. Now, all this, Hanuman on top of the tree is witnessing, he's seeing all this. And Sita, she feels very miserable thinking about whatever has happened to her. There are no signs of Rama turning up. She feels that one fine day, all the Rakshasis, Ravana, they will cause trouble to her, they might eat her up. So instead of facing all this, it's better that I only end my life. So she comes to this conclusion. नहि मे जीवितेनार्थो नैवार्थैर् न च भूषणैः वसन्त्या राक्षसी मध्ये विना रामं महारथम्. She tells, what's the use of living in the midst of all these Rakshasis also? I don't want any wealth, ornaments, riches, nothing. I just want Rama. He is not there. I have to live with such terrible people. अश्मसारमिदं नूनम् अथवाप्यजरामरं हृदयं मम येनेदं ददुःखेनावशीर्यते. She feels that maybe my heart is made of stone or so. That's the reason, even after enduring all this for the last 8 months, nothing has happened to me. And that's why I have to now forcefully end my life. So, all this in Dukkha she speaks. चरणेनापि सव्येन न स्पृशेयं निशाचरं रावणं किं पुनरहं कामयेयं विगर्हितम्. Sita gives a very stern reply to the Rakshasis. She tells that I will not even touch that Ravana with my left foot. Now, why left foot has been mentioned? Usually, if you see, apart from those who are lefties, left hand or with our left foot, we cannot do anything, right? Now, someone tells you maybe uh, right with your left hand or something like that, or a left feet. Usually, the left side of our body is, let us not say paralyzed, but as such, it is not useful much. Now, forget about the feet at least, but left hand or the left side of the body. Usually, people are right handies only, right? So, usually, it is just maybe you have to, wherein we need the purpose of two hands to support something or hold something, then the left hand is used. Otherwise, as such, the left hand is useless, right? Or we use it for activities which are not that, you can say, which we usually are not to be done by the right hand. Maybe people wear a watch, this that and so on, right? So therefore here the mention of the left hand, left foot is given. So when here Sita mentions this, it is just to indicate that which is almost useless. So I'm not going to touch Ravana even with my left foot, forget about loving him, going near him and so on. Chinna भिन्ना विभक्ता वा दीप्ते वाग्नौ प्रदीपिता रावणं नोपतिष्ठेयं Kim pralapena vaschiram. Even if I'm cut, I'm killed, you cut me into pieces or you burn me, I'm not going to go near Ravana. So just give up. Whatever you're doing, just forget all about that, because the conclusion is ultimately I'm not going to accept Ravana at all. यदि काश्चित् प्रदाता मे विषस्याद्य भवेदिह क्षिप्रं वैवस्वतं देवं पश्येयं पतिना विना. If anyone of you, you've got poison also, you give me, I'll end up my life. Saham tyakta priyarhena ramena viditatmana pranam syakshami papasya ravanasya katavasham. Let me give up my life because I'm separated from Ravana. I don't want to be under the clutches of Ravana. This we had already seen. This, if you see this chart, we had seen wherein what can be the mental state or the situation of the lady at that time. She has come to an unknown place, she has been bought by an unknown person, everyone around is very scary and dangerous to look at, but and time is also running out, there is no sign of hope. Ultimately the solution is give up one's life, because there is nothing else that is left about here at that time. When, so now Sarga 27 is like the turning point. Now what happened? This, the entry of Trijata comes in. Now here, looking at all this is quite relatable even to all our lives also. Just when everything seems to be very gloomy and we arrive at a conclusion that okay, there is no further solution, I cannot do anything, let things happen the way they want. At that time, you see a bright light of hope, a ray of light always comes in, a ray of hope comes in. It might take some time, but still it does come in. So here also the same thing has happened in the life of Sita. When she decides that everything has come to an end, also at that time Trijata enters. And she tells all the Rakshasis around that I saw a dream, and all the other Rakshasis they tell us about your dream, this, that, and so on. So in the dream, what Trijata saw was the victory of Rama and the destruction of Ravana. Vibhishana survived. Vibhishana, who was a great follower of Dharma. And Trijata tells all the other Rakshasis that you better be good with Sita because this dream is likely to come true. Now, here the dream that she saw is, I'll just tell you in short about the dream. Now, wherein here what she sees is Ravana, Sita, and Lakshmana. They're sitting on a chariot wearing white clothes and they're passing about through heaven, through the skies. And Ravana here is riding on the back of a donkey. He's fully black, wearing black clothes and so on, smeared with black. And then he is riding on a donkey. So this itself, you see someone wearing black or so, or in general we do wear black, but as such it is not, we don't encourage that much, right? And then sitting on the back of a donkey also, all these are signs of defeat. And Dakshinagamaha, stage one, he is moving southwards. Now south itself indicates downfall, right? Even when we use in our normal language also, something which moves southwards, even when you have the markets also, right? The stock markets or anything that is there, whenever we have to indicate some loss, you'll see that today everything has fallen southwards, right? So that is Dakshinagamaha. This has been mentioned in the Ramayanam also, wherein Trijata says that I see Ravana moving southwards, which ultimately means the defeat or loss of Ravana is taken place. Now, listening to all this, now all the Rakshasis are also afraid. They also don't know what to do, and they feel that maybe the dream of the Jeta will come true. But Sita is not paying attention to this. She's just thinking about whatever has happened with her. She feels very bad and she's grieving on her situation. But at this time, what happens is, now this is, as I told you, Sarga 27-28 is the turning point of Sundarakandam of Ramayana. Because now Hanuman, the messenger of Rama, has reached Lanka. Trijata's entry has also taken place. So now Sita starts experiencing some positive signs in her body that gives her some courage that maybe no, I should not end my life here. Let me see what happens. सत्यं वदेदं प्रवदन्ति लोके न कालमृत्युर्भवतीति सन्तः यत्राहमेवं परिभर्त्स्यमाना जीवामि दीना क्षणमप्यपुण्या. So here, now this highlights the importance of how death can be accepted or death takes place only at the right time. Just because we want to end something or some suicidal thoughts also, they are all against one's life. So here a very deep concept. Now these thoughts that now this aspect why it is mentioned is thought of giving up one's life can come to any one of us, right? Like maybe no, even we also, maybe we don't mean it, but still when there are a lot of problems also, sometimes we just randomly make statements and I don't wish to live any longer, or why am I facing all this, and so on, right? In our gloomy days, everyone has our own set of bad days, good days, and so on. But at that time it is very very important to realize that, and a very subtle concept is told here. Though now in our philosophy, in our dharma also, a lot of importance is given to the jivatma, that is to the soul inside, but still, and it is said that this body is just given, it's a piece of flesh. Shankaracharya also talks about this in Bhaja Govindam, this and that, but still, this body also has been blessed with us, blessed to us by God. It's been given to us by God. We have to ensure that we take good care of it. We have no rights to kill it. If the Lord has given us birth, He only has the right to take it back. He only will ensure when death will come to one person. We have no right to cause any trouble to this by killing oneself or this and that and so on. Just as birth is natural, death also should be natural only. So we cannot cause any harm to our body at all. That's why if you see, some people do these body piercings and so on also, right? Apart from the basic things, maybe for the earrings or nose, wherever it is, we should not pierce our body at all. That's why even the body hair that usually women also that we remove, in earlier times, if you see, people used to apply, nowadays also people might be doing, used to apply turmeric, this and that, or they used to showcase their hair naturally. That is because the different things, when we pull out hair also, that also is against dharma. But now there are certain things which we cannot follow, definitely. But yes, such things are followed wherein we should not cause any trouble to our body also. That doesn't mean that we don't exert our body and just keep taking care of our body. First, take care of your jivatma. You take care of your soul, mental strength properly, automatically physical body is happy. But taking care of one's physical self is also very, very important. We cannot cause any harm to our body. If you are blessed with a body, that is also God's blessing to us. There are many people, there are so many people who have got physical abnormalities, right? Sundarakandam highlights on this aspect. That's the reason last time when we were talking about the various Rakshasis also, you'll remember that I had told you a Palashruti. By chanting that, people having handicaps or some kind of abnormalities, that will all go away. That's because importance of this body. If you are all blessed, that too with a physical body, a normal body, we are able to walk, we have all the body organs intact and so on. We have no right to cause trouble to it at all. And this is the same thing which Sita tries to tell here. And when death comes, it will occur at its time only. Similarly for birth also. Not everyone, it's not that okay, someone gets married and immediately a child is born, right? It can happen after 1 year, 2 year, 5 years, 10 years. For some people, they are not blessed with it all, right? So we have nothing to blame. Of course, we try our best, but nothing to blame. Birth happens at the right time. Death also will happen at that time only. We are no one to decide that. Sita realizes this. But here, note one thing. Here, some people will say, now all this is mentioned in the commentaries. So that's why I'm just Tikakaras. Tikakaras is commentaries that people write. In that, it is mentioned that like there can be questions which come in that Sita, she is an incarnation of Goddess Mahalakshmi herself. How come such thoughts can come to her? Because even till date in Kali Yuga, when we read something, it has to be relatable to human beings. Right? We also get some thoughts. thoughts will come to our mind. We cannot stop thoughts. We cannot have a control on our thoughts. When we have our own set of bad days, obviously we will not have positive thoughts. We cannot be happy, right? Obviously, when now if there are some problems in my life, I'm going to feel sad. I will have disturbing thoughts coming to my mind. But how far it is affecting me and what are the actions that I take, that is very, very important. So elders say that death will not come before its time. Nakala mrityor bhavati. नूनं ममाङ्गान्यचिरादनार्यः शस्त्रैश्रितैश्चेत्स्यति राक्षसेन्द्रः तस्मिन्ननागच्छति लोकनाथे गर्भस्थजन्तोरिव शल्यकृन्तः. Here Sita tells that if the Lord of the world, that is, she is actually indicating Rama here, if he does not come at the right time, then a demon will come cut, this demon Ravana will cut me to pieces, just as a lifeless fetus is cut with a sharp weapon. Now here again, Garbhastajanto Rivashalyakrintaha. Just as a doctor cuts a lifeless fetus, similarly this one. I am now why are lifeless? Because Sita has already lost her life. She's just being alive or so, but actually her life has gone away the day she was separated from Rama. But now what happens is flickering of the left eye, trembling of the left limbs, and so on. So all this that we believe even in today's times, the same auspicious signs or omens Sita also experiences, and she feels that this there can be some good signs also. Let me wait. Now on seeing all this, and now Hanuman feels now I should at least go and speak to Sita, tell her the truth. Otherwise, this lady might end up ending her life also. And all these efforts that are put in by crossing over the ocean, facing so many obstacles, and reaching here, all that will go waste. But now he wonders, how should I approach Sita? Because if I talk to her directly, she will not believe me. Why so? Because once we face some cheating or someone has cheated us also in life, we will always think 10 times, even if the opposite person is true, right? Sita has already made this mistake. Sita ended up believing Ravana. Now she is not able to believe anyone. And that too, Hanuman has got a monkey form. So she might feel that I might be someone sent by Ravana only. So therefore, Hanuman thinks very carefully, how should I approach Sita? So now what he does is प्राणत्यागश्त्यागश्च वैदेह्या भवेदनभिभाषणे एष दोषो महान् हि स्यान् मम सीताभिभाषणे. Now Hanuman is in a dilemma. He says, if I talk to her, it will be a great mistake because she might not end up believing me. But if I do not talk, she might give up her life. So now what should I do? अर्थानर्थान्तरे बुद्धिः निश्चितापि न शोभते घातयन्ति हि कार्याणि दूताः पंडितमानिनः. Now here Hanuman he reminds himself saying that I'm a duta, I'm a messenger here. I have come here to convey some message. Let me do that. If I'm blinded with ego and directly I jump, with, if I do things in a hurry also, it might lead to problems and my main mission will not be successful at all. So let me think properly how I can approach Sita. Then let me jump to action. Hanuman plans. इक्ष्वाकूणां वरिष्ठस्य रामस्य विदितात्मनः शुभानि धर्मयुक्तानि वचनानि समर्पयन् श्रावयिष्यामि सर्वाणि मधुरां प्रब्रुवन् गिरं श्रद्धास्यति यथा हीयं तथा सर्वं समाददे. Now he tells the best way of approaching Sita is, let me tell the story of Rama. So now Sundarakandam in itself has the entire story of entire Ramayana. And when she listens to that, little her mind might get little distracted and little trust will also believe in her, will start in her. Sarga 31, an important sarga of entire Sundarakandam. Hanuman sings the glory of Rama. Entire Ramayana is sung by Hanuman. Now Hanuman sings the entire Ramayana and now Sita joyfully looks up. For the last 10 months, for the last 8 to 9 months, she has no signs of Rama at all. And suddenly one fine day, she listens, she hears the story of Rama. So she is seeing from where the voice is coming. Nishamya Sita Vachanam Kapeshcha Dishashcha Sarva Pradishashcha Vikshya Swayam Praharsham Paramam Jagama Sarvatmana Ramam Anusmaranti. Listening to Hanuman's voice, she starts looking at all the directions. She's thinking about Rama and this gives her ultimate joy. Sadirya च तापाभ्यदस्तान् निरीक्षमाणा तमचिन्त्य बुद्धिं ददर्श पिङ्गाधिपतेरमात्यं वातात्मजं सूर्यमिवोदयस्तं. She looks up and down, this, that, and finally she sees Hanuman. So Drishta Hanuman is a reference, Sarga number 31, verse number 19, wherein Sita finally sees Hanuman, who looks very, very happy, lot of tejas. He looks like the rising sun. And this is a description of how Sita sees Hanuman. Now she sees Hanuman, no doubt, but next she's confused on seeing Hanuman. At first she is afraid, suddenly from where this monkey has come up. And then she starts thinking more and more, and whatever the Vanara spoke should be true, this and that. That is, he has spoken about Rama, so definitely he should be a Ramaduta or someone sent by Rama. So again, now this is Sita's dilemma. Sita, as I told you, she cannot believe anything immediately because she has already faced disbelief once. So now trust is not coming into her, and slowly she's just sitting and wondering, what should I do? What should I do? Should I believe him? Should I be afraid of him? This, that. So she's also in a state of confusion. Now, somewhere now, Hanuman comes down and in several ways she asks, who are you? Why are you unhappy? This, that, everything. Now, why Hanuman does this is Hanuman also, though he believes 100%, he is now assured that this is only Sita, but still, once again, he had also gone into the palace of Ravana. He had mistaken Mandodari to be Sita. So here he also doesn't want to be in a state of confusion or so. Otherwise, he is a Duta, so he has to be very careful. His entire mission will otherwise fail. So therefore, he is also very careful. Slowly he asks, who are you? Why are you unhappy? And so on. To be assured that the lady is none other than Sita. Sita also tells the entire set of events, whatever happened in Lanka, this, that, and so on. व्यञ्जनानि च ते यानि लक्षणानि च लक्षये महिषी भूमिपालस्य राजकन्या च मे मता. Hanuman very diplomatically, very intelligently, he speaks to Sita. Says, looking at you, I don't see that you are a tapasvi or so. You look like a daughter of a king or wife of a king. रावणेन रणस्थानात् बलादपहृता यदि सीता त्वमसि भद्रं ते तन्ममा चक्ष्व पृच्छतः. If you are Sita, who has been forcefully bought by Ravana, then whatever has happened to you, you may tell that to me whenever you are free. You can tell that to me freely, he says. I am here to listen to all that. Sita replies. समाद्वादशतत्राहं राघवस्य निवेशने भुञ्जानामानुषान् भोगान् सर्वकामसमृद्धिनी. In the abode of Rama in Ayodhya along with Rama enjoyed all the pleasures for 12 years. द्वौ मासौ तेन मे कालो जीवितानुग्रहः कृतः ऊर्ध्वं द्वाभ्यां तु मासाभ्यां ततस्तक्ष्यामि जीवितम्. She tells the entire series for 12 years I was happy, then the entire series of events. Then we were sent to the forest, then one fine day Ravana abducted and so on. Finally she tells that in about 15, 16 shlokas. That is from Sarga 33, verse 17 onwards till about 30, 31. She tells the entire story. And finally, she tells that now Ravana has given me just the time period of 2 months. After this, I will have to give up my life because I don't want to live with Ravana. Anyways, he will kill me. Instead of that, I'll only have to give up my life. Hanuman, he boosts the confidence of Sita. So again, Sarga 34 is an important Sarga wherein this again tries to reveal that if the opposite person is in grief also, you might not know the person, that person might even be your enemy, but still, if someone, let's not say enemy or someone unknown, but if someone is in a point of grief, or you can say they are very sad, they don't know what to do, they are on the verge of giving up, at that time we should be able to boost their confidence. We need not go out of the way, but even speaking nice words to someone, consoling words to someone can give the opposite person a ray of hope. Right? So this lesson very subtly Hanuman tries to reveal. Now Hanuman also doesn't know Sita. He's also seeing Sita for the first time. Sita is also seeing Hanuman for the first time. But still, Hanuman, when the lady is on the verge of giving up her life, when she has lost all hope, Hanuman slowly builds confidence in her, saying that don't worry, now I have come here. So this is a very you can say a lesson which we can also apply in our lives. Whenever the opposite person is in grief, when they are telling something, it might be anyone. We might not even know the person, but this is humanity, wherein we know we need not go out of the way to do anything, but even speaking nice words or consoling words to the person can make the opposite person feel good. So here now Hanuman and Sita, they start talking to each other to melt the ice between them to know each other more. But now what happens is Sita's mind slowly starts changing. Sita thinks that this might be Ravana only in disguise. Then she immediately feels no, this might not be Ravana. If it was Ravana, why would he come in this way? Why would he convey the entire Ramakatha, this, that, and so on? Now, Hanuman, he also what he does is he talks about the specialities, the good things of Rama in order to boost Sita's confidence, in order to make Sita believe that I am actually Ramadutta. And here now slowly Sita feels this might not be Ravana because Ravana will never talk good about Rama. So she's also in a state of confusion. At one point she feels this might be Ravana, one point she feels no, and so on. यथा यथा समीपं स हन्तुमान sorry हनुमानुपसर्पति तथा तथा रावणं सा तं सीता परिशङ्कते. Hanuman slowly started drawing close. Now here, note that it was not that Hanuman was coming physically close to her, but from atop the tree, he was sitting far on the tree, he jumps down, right? So little he has come close. When he comes down, he bows down to Sita, so little more it is close. So look at the aspect very carefully. Aho dhik dushkritamidam katitam hi adasya me rupantaramupāgamya sa evayam hiravanaha. Sita tells her, shame on me, I told him the entire story, which I should have not. This is Ravana only who has come in disguise. यदि रामस्य दूतस्त्वम् आगतो भद्रमस्तु ते पृच्छामि त्वां हरिश्चेष्ट प्रिया रामकथा हि मे. Now Sita also wishes to test Hanuman. So she tells that if you're really the Duta of Rama, you tell me about Rama's story. I love to listen to that. You tell me. अहं सुग्रीवसचिवो हनुमान् नाम वानरः प्रविष्टो नगरीं लङ्कां लङ्घयित्वा महोदधिम्. Rama, Hanuman introduces himself. Now here a very important aspect you have to know. Why Hanuman did not directly mention that I am Ramaduta? He could have done that. He didn't do that. Aham Sugriva Sachivo. I am a minister of Sugriva. This shows that Hanuman is a Ramaduta, no doubt. But his first identity is associated with Sugriva. He is under the rule, or you can say under the control of Sugriva. This is Rajadharma. Duta, when he says, though Hanuman has been sent by Rama as a Duta, he is no doubt Rama's Duta, Rama's messenger, but still his association starts with Sugriva. He is under the power of Sugriva only because Sugriva has also given them orders. He has ordered all the monkeys to go in the four directions. Only then Hanuman and all the monkeys go. Then only Rama gives the ring to say Hanuman this, that, and so on. So the first one whom Hanuman is associated is Sugriva. Therefore, wherever, even though he mentions Ramaduta, Sugriva Sachivaha. This is the first statement which is mentioned. So this shows the, you can say, the respect that one should have towards one's master. This is the way which Hanuman, why he tells his identity this way, that has also got this explanation. Naham asmi tatha devi yata mam avagachasi vishanka tyajyatamesha shraddatsva vadato mama. Now looking at the body language of Sita, what she was thinking, slowly Hanuman realizes that little doubt has already come in the mind of Sita. So he convinces Sita, saying that you don't have to worry, you can believe me, you tell me whatever you want to, you can trust me, and so on. I am not a deceitful person. Now Sita tells him to reveal the story of Rama. Hanuman again does that. The qualities of Rama, this, that. Sarga 35, again an important Sarga. He tells the entire story, good qualities of Rama, how they meet, how Rama and Sugriva meet, how all the monkeys come out in search of Sita in different directions, how finally Sampati, Jatayu, the encounter of Jatayu, then Sampati. So looking at all this, now slowly Sita also starts believing what further needs to be done. Hanuman also inspires confidence. He asks Sita what needs to be done next, what do you want me to do firstly, and so on. So this conversation builds in. This sarga is little big, it will take some time. So for today, we will stop here. We continue with sarga 35 next time. Yeah. Namaste, Hari Om, Dhanyavadaha.